global commodities tend to move together. These were underperforming trades for over a decade, and I think we've been talking about them in concert for a reason.
Well, meantime, shares of Meta jumping 2% today after Rothschild upgraded the stock from market report to buy. Analysts saying the company is best positioned to capitalize on agentic AI for small businesses and entertainment AI for consumers. The firm also boosting its price target from $740 to $900 a share. That's nearly a 35% gain from today's close. Meta reports earnings on Wednesday. You think the setup is still good, Karen? I mean, this is after the Jeffries note last week. Right. Reasons to buy Meta.
So I think the stock was maybe around 612 or so before that note came out. So now, so now it's $60 higher. That's 10%. I'd much rather it be lower going into earnings than this setup. But I do think it has been kind of overdone. But there are similar theses for both, that the expectations are pretty low, that if they have any improvement on expenses either outside of the big capex or even a little bit under the capex that they talked about, that would be good. That the underlying business is very good, and then they have future ways to monetize. And then there's a big question mark of their AI strategy. For will Llama prove to be something that people want to use? And right now, it's just a giant hole of money. But ultimately, it's possible that it could be something more than that. So it's not expensive, but this risk reward has changed a little bit. I would probably be, long some, sell some calls into earnings.
Are we at the point,
a lot, actually.
yeah, in the Meta story at least, where if they back off of capex projections even a little bit, that's a positive for the stock?
I think so. I mean, I think first of all, I think the quarter's going to be fine, and anything on the margins, it's not suggested it can continue to go down that rabbit hole. I think it's going to get the stock higher. I think the setup is actually still pretty good despite the move that we've seen. And forget about what we saw in August of last year when I think it traded 800. The prior all-time high was in February, about 725. That's where I think it's headed post-earnings.
Yeah, it stopped rallying really with the last greatest CapEx announcement. So I do think if they tap the brakes on CapEx, you're going to see the stock has room to rally. And again, there's going to be zero wrong with the numbers they report. And I thought the best or the most convincing, because it was a great article by Brent Hill, but I should say research piece. It absolutely talked about that discount of Google to Meta. And I think that's what's most fascinating. This is a trading show. I mean, the move in Google has been extraordinary. The discount to Google of Meta is something that is worth playing, I think, on a pair.
I mean, I would just say the burden of proof is on the ball, right? If you were to look at January 28th, 2025, it was 674. Here we are, January 27th, 2026, it's 672. So this is a major, it's a major asset that's gone sideways for a year in a very dynamic tape. You make money, lose money in precious metals or this stock, that. So it's either the pause or refreshes. This is the setup that causes a breakout. But I'd rather play on strength. I'd rather miss an earnings jump and then play after that.
What's good, everybody?
There is a little reason to be
hit that like button. Hit that like button, guys.
Regular expenses coming over.
CNBC Fast Money. This is where I go for my market news.
I'm long and a little nervous.
What's up, Antonio?
We got some breaking news out of D.C. The president just announcing he is increasing tariffs on South Korea. In a post on Truth Social, he says South Korea's legislature is not living up to its deal with the United States. President Lee and I reached a great deal in July of last year. Why hasn't the Korean legislature approved it? As a result, Trump says he is increasing tariffs on South Korean autos, lumber, pharma, and all other reciprocal tariffs from 15 to 25%. When I heard this over the transom into my ear at first, I immediately thought about memory and chips and whether or not we would see any sort of tariffs on that. According to this post on True Social, none of that so far, but obviously that would have a major impact in terms of what is going on with chip makers.
No question, and if you're buying the EWI, which is the Korea ETF, which I do buy, it's about 46% right away with Samsung and Hynix, and then you get a lot more memory in there too. And as we've tried to point out around this desk, the dynamic with memory is fascinating because it really has separated itself from CPU, GPU, but I think at some point this really is a commodity again, and this is one of these things that you didn't expect, but maybe that's a signal to see some of that pullback.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it means, if anything, for the broader market, and we've been down this road before. But again, it didn't come out of the blue. There's clearly some catalyst for this because, as he said in the tweet, this deal was struck many months ago, and now all of a sudden it's coming to light. So there's obviously something else brewing, I would imagine.
Coming up, insurers getting hit on reports the White House could hold Medicare rates steady next year. The impact on the sector, plus a private credit crunch. One major investment firm raising a red flag for the space. What is behind this warning and what it means for PE in 2026? Do not go anywhere. That's when he's back next week.
That's my go-to show, Fast Money, for my market news, and I use them a lot to either validate some of my concerns or some of my theories that I come up with my own analysis of and from my own market research and things of that nature. And so that's on CNBC, like you know, and that show comes on Eastern Standard Time. In America, it's Eastern Standard Time, so it's like 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. in the evening American time. I don't know what time that might be in different countries. We got 16 people in the live. Can I get 16 likes, y'all? Can we hit the like button, please? Can we hit that like button? Can we subscribe? We definitely need to subscribe because I want you guys to subscribe because this is going to be a channel. We are going to support the people that are part of this community as we develop and grow this community. What is that, Erie?
AI technology is shining the way for today's consumer electronics leaders. Prisma Airs, the world's most comprehensive AI security platform.
Let me get my
Light away. Be a genius.
get some glasses so I can see who in here. Dig.
Does the recent data signal rate cuts ahead, or will a pause be the likely path forward? Powell's message to investors. Power Lunch, Wednesday 2 p.m. Eastern, streaming on CNBC Plus.
So I can see who in here.
See you tomorrow at 12.
Sherlock Holmes shit.
I can't hear clearly on the phone anymore.
Let me show you something that will change your life.
What's up, Erica Matthews? What's
It
happening?
allows me to read when a color is safe.
Hola, amigo. ¿Cómo está? ¿Cómo está hoy? ¿Qué pasa contigo, hermano?
Insurance or Medicare required.
Clear caption service is provided in
Pense.
We deliver, install, and train
Pinche.
you on how to use your phone. Call 1-800-368-2718. That's 1-800-368-2718.
¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué pasa contigo?
She started forgetting to pay her bills on time.
Habla español conmigo.
Over and over.
Yo necesito que aprender español más.
At first we had our cries, but then
Yo necesito que estudie mi español cada día, pero
it's so important for you to think.
yo no tiene tiempo.
Talk about seeing a doctor together.
Welcome back to Fast Money. Health insurance stocks dropping after hours. The Wall Street Journal reporting the Trump administration is proposing a
I don't be having enough time to study my Spanish like I should, bro. I do try to study with my daughters. My biological father, Elijah Hector, Spanish Indian Taino from the island Barbados, Antigua, Florida, Espanol, Spanish Florida.
Basically leaving the rate virtually unchanged compared to that.
Like and subscribe, guys. We need everybody to subscribe. We need y'all to like and subscribe. We need to get up to 1,000 subscribers. Then we can monetize the channel. We can monetize the channel.
Yeah, I would agree that this is a much lower rate than was expected.
We can monetize the channel.
When you look at the release from CMS, it looks like they've included that change to the risk adjustment profile or policy in this 0%. So it looks like the core rate.
Trying to build $1 million portfolio off of small caps for real. And if I do what I'm trying to do, and I do this and I bubble this account with options contracts with the buy and the hold, some mega caps. Tech is one of my favorite sectors, but as I teach myself and develop my skills as a trader and as an investor, the objective is to grow generational wealth so that I leave something
You know,
like
I think that
my great
I
grandparents
think
left
relative to
land
expectations
and
perhaps with the
valuable
recent run-up in the stock, this
inheritances
is
to
very much a
us,
disappointment.
as well as our
Having said that, I
lineage
think from
and our
a
ethnicity and
investor
our
standpoint,
culture
the
and
way
our
to think about
identity
this
through the
is,
oral tradition,
you know,
which
the
is
rate was
a
5%
jewel in
in
itself,
23 and margins
irreplaceable.
declined
The
200
oral
basis
family
points
tradition
because
that's
of
passed down from generation to
unexpectedly down
generation of
utilization.
who we are
And
and
the
where we
same sort of
come
thing happened
from.
in 24. Too much competition, and but a low rate. 25, which we had a very low rate,
What that, Pepe?
about negative 2% rate. Margins were flat, maybe even up a little bit for most people other than United. 26 is a good rate. We ought to have some margin expansion. The key thing here is going to be pricing.
Antonia.
And I think what you're going to see with
Antonia.
this is companies taking an approach like United.
¿Qué pasa, Antonia?
Cutting back on benefits.
Mi nombre es Santorio Hector.
And really working on trying to deliver a lower cost solution to the government. And within that context, because competition is withdrawing, these companies can.
Yo soy un música artist.
And, you know, you're going to
Mi música es un
100 basis points of
toro
improvement.
música plataformas. Escucha mi música un toro música plataforma. Apple Música, Spotify.
Moves up in margin. So I think you can continue to grind
Escucha mi música un toro música plataforma. Santorio Hector, mi nombre. Santorio Hector. Santorio Hector.
You can look at this and say that you can still make the numbers, but I think that from a sentiment, this is going to pull back. That's some commentary on the footnotes about that, kind of an olive branch there. The other thing that they're doing is
Whoa, are we audible now? Are we audible now? So the sound was, you're just now telling me that the sound was not, you guys couldn't hear me?
Of flight cancellations in the U.S., with Sunday marking the most in one day since the pandemic. For more of the impact to airlines, let's bring in Phil LeBeau. Hey, Phil.
Hey, Melissa, it is improving.
So like I was saying, subscribe to the channel, share the channel, tell everybody to come over here to like and subscribe. Escucha mi música en todas música plataformas. Mi nombre es Santorio Hector. En todas música plataformas. Check out my music on all music platforms, on Apple Music, on Tidal, on Spotify, on Amazon. I'm a record producer. I'm like Master P. Our records feature artists from New York to California, from different cities and states, and they some of the hottest up-and-coming artists from their areas and regions. Go check out the records produced by Santorio Hector, on, like I said, on Apple Music, on Spotify, on Amazon. If you need to know what to look for, let me show you what to look for if you want to go check out the records. If you work out, it's good music to work out to. Santorio Hector. You can Google us. You can Google us, and then you could just tap in. On YouTube, on Apple Music, on Spotify, on Amazon, on Pandora, and just go check out the different records. You know? Just go check us out. Just go check us out. Just go check us out, Santorio Hector. Just go check us out. You know? Just go check us out.
I think the things that are driving airlines right now are probably jet fuel prices. I think we're starting to see an uptick there.
I think the average price target, according to street accounts for Delta, is 84. I think they're about 30 analysts are covering.
Follow me on Facebook.
And this can just sort of, no pun intended, levitate just on a valuation re-rating into earnings in April. So yeah.
Follow me on IG, Santorio Hector. Follow me.